Hello, everyone. Welcome to a brand new week of the weekly Forex market analysis. I hope you had an awesome trading week last week. The previous week went well for the forecasted pairs. For this week, we will be looking at the GBPUSD, the EURCHF, and the CHFJPY. Before we come on to what we have for this week, just a quick recap of what we had on the watch list for last week. On the watch list for last week were AED CAD CHF, and AUD CHF. For this week, we'll be taking a look at the GBP USD, the Euro CHF, and the CHF JPY. So for the AED card, we had the breakout as expected, and it took off over 77 pips before retracing back to the entry point. Also for the card CHF, expectations were fully met. We went below the flag pattern, also went below this level that we're looking at, and it dropped more than 130 pips for the expectations to be met. And finally, on the ADCHF, we had more than a 70 pip drop after it broke out from the symmetrical triangles support. The GBP USD is the first pair on the watch list that we'll be taking a look at for this week. GBP USD had a very bearish week last week, and out of all those bearishness, this market structure has been printed out. Currently, the bears are in total control of the GBP USD, but then selling at this very area would be too low to sell. In the coming week, we'll be taking a look at a pullback to this level, which is the price of interest. It comes in at the 1.37942. So a retracement to this level to come back down would be a bearish continuation for the GBP USD. Also, if the retracement to this level never comes, then we could be looking at a second retracement to this level, which is the new resistance as it was former support before the bears continue with their move. If both of these retracements that we'll be looking at never come through and GBP USD shoots past this level, then I'll let go of my bearish bias. The second pair that we'll be taking a look at for this week is the Euro CHF. The Euro CHF has an expectation similar to that of the GBP USD, but then for this time, we'll be looking at a confluence of resistance over here. Just like the GBP USD, the Euro CHF had a bearish week previously, but now selling at this current market price would be too low to sell the Euro CHF. So in order to mitigate risk, we'll be expecting a pullback to either of these confluence of resistances. So for the coming week, we'll be expecting Euro CHF to move accordingly like this, or to move somewhat like this for a bearish continuation. But then if any of these scenarios never occur and Euro CHF manages to shoot past this resistance level, then I'll let go of my bearish bias. The final pair to look at for this coming week is the CHF-JPY. One thing you need to know that the CHF-JPY could be negatively correlated with the Euro-CHF. So track both of these pairs together in order to strike profitable trades. For the CHF-JPY, it is trading smoothly in this ascending channel. As long as the CHF-JPY remains within the confines of this channel, there wouldn't be much to do in my opinion. Since I'm not interested in trading within this channel, it's a bit tight, so trading in it wouldn't give much movement or much more pips to be reasonable. So for the CHF-JPY, the trading plan is that either it breaks below this level for the bears to take over, or it breaks above the resistance level for the bulls to take over. But then with an ascending channel like this, I wouldn't be interested in trading the break of the resistance of the channel. Either it continues to trade within the confines of the channel, or it breaks below the support of the channel as well as the price of interest of the channel before the bears can step in. The price of interest comes in at the 117.923. On the fundamental side of things, our economic week would be starting on Tuesday, since there wouldn't be any critical market movers on Monday. So for Tuesday, much of the day will be dedicated to the Great British Pound. That is, there would be movement in the GBP pairs as the GDP would be announced, and the manufacturing production for the month of February would also be out. Also, this German zero economic sentiment would be affecting the euro, and there's a core CPI announcement that will be affecting the US dollar. On Wednesday too, the market movers will be focused on the NZD as the Reserve Bank of New Zealand will be announcing the interest rate decision. On Thursday, employment change will be coming up from Australia, which will be affecting the Australian dollar, and there will be much more news coming up from the United States, which will be affecting the USD. Then finally on Friday, there will be Chinese yuan announcements. This has the tendency to affect the Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar pairs. Then the CPI from Europe will be announced, as well as building permits from the United States. It's kind of an economically packed week, so do well to trade with caution. I wish you a profitable trading week and see you next week if there are any setups.